Whilst I'm super thankful that I can live off of crypto right now and basically just be in this dynamic and super interesting industry, I definitely wonder where I'd probably be if I would have listened to this guy who was kind of weird, who was also slightly stupid, maybe, but who really pitched me a crypto event already back in 2014. He must be dumb rich by now, or he might also have just quit. It doesn't really matter because I am where I am right now and I'm still able to use this opportunity. And so can you. So today, for your own benefit, I'm trying to break down the industry of this crypto, which is kind of a weird terminology. People don't really understand how crypto works, what type of games are being played in there, and what opportunities are there for them. So today, I'm going to break down what kind of money you can make in crypto, how you can make it by playing what type of games. And it all comes down to your skill set, your risk appetite, your capital that you can bring kind of into the market, and the amount of time that you're willing to spend working on it. So, just maybe as a short alert for most of you guys, statistically, you're definitely going to lose a lot of money in crypto. Crypto is dying, or actually it's not really dying, but every bull market cycle dies, and we are kind of in the latter part. So there's not lots of time to make money, but there is still a huge opportunity. So let's actually just jump right into it. I kind of created this whole mind map for you guys to understand that there are three different ways to make money in it. Okay, you have the passive way, which is over here. You have the active way, and you have a high risk way. Whilst I'm not going to be able to get into all the different details, I'm definitely going to share this document, and I created different notes where you can see for each different section the skills needed and what this type of activity is really about. But this game, for example, if you look at the active side, you have participation in launchpads and IDOs, which is kind of a early investment. Most people definitely lack the skills, and you probably do as well. Then there are building in Web3, which is kind of just building startups and like real projects, which take a lot of time, a lot of capital, and a lot of experience as well. Then you have providing crypto services, which is a lot more entry friendly, I'd say so. Definitely, there are a lot of different ways you can provide crypto services within the industry, and that's probably also another video that I'm going to kind of break down the big possibilities, okay? But if I click on my note, I can see over here a lot of tasks that come with it are basically just writing, graphic design, video editing, and also just the knowledge and crypto trends and terminology. Even me, the video that I'm just doing is kind of a service. I'm letting you know some type of information that you can use for hopefully the better of your crypto endeavors. And when it comes to content creation, in my opinion, this is very beginner friendly. And as you guys have seen with the rise in meme coins, there's a big opportunity to provide those services for different meme coin projects with very, very low risk. Okay. At the same time, you have more advanced skills like smart contract development. Every token has a smart contract. If you're maybe if you have a background in computer science, you can make that kind of your thing and understand how to write smart contracts and be helpful for teams. You can also just get into community management, which is also another thing that a lot of these early projects, those meme coins, and also other projects, obviously, they really need. And it's very time consuming, but it's rewarding because they might offer you some equity, which in crypto terms is just supply. And this supply you can probably sell off of a kind of a vested plan. They might tell you, okay, you can just sell part of it every week or a certain amount, but it definitely gives you the opportunity to make money and provide your services. Now, if you look at trading, this is obviously super, super, super beneficial because it doesn't really take all of your time. I know a good friend of mine, he's now very near to seven figures just based off trading, but it's one hell of a skill and it needs a lot of time and you need to be sharp. So it might not be the best thing for a lot of people to start out with, but definitely you need to kind of get involved in trading as well, understand it, and get just some experience under your belt. Then, yeah, there are different strategies. I just kind of broke them down. You can just check them out by yourself. Then you have the NFTs, okay? NFTs, a very big thing last cycle. You had a lot of scams because a lot of people don't understand the value when it comes to NFTs. And usually it's a community behind it and services that they provide for the community members. It's also a great network opportunity, but at the same time, it's quite a difficult field to understand. But if you do some proper research, you will realize that there are some NFTs that are really kind of standing out and that might kind of just blow up throughout the rest of the cycle. So if you can spot them early and you can trade them, you can make a bunch of money off of it. Over here, you have yield farming and liquidity provision, which is kind of a more advanced skill. You can provide a token with liquidity and make money off of fees. Just check the note as well. And then when you look at the passive kind of section, you understand that there's hodling, which means like holding on for dear life. Basically, just buying and holding on to it. This would have made you like extremely rich, for example, if you would have bought Ethereum early, if you would have bought Bitcoin and just held on to it. That's kind of a very passive strategy. Maybe you have a day job, maybe you can't really afford to spend a couple of hours a day on crypto, then this is a very good strategy. However, you do need some capital in order to really make a big uh, profit off of it, because it's not like you're gonna have just 100x or 1000x's in this strategy section. Then also, if you look at staking, yield farming, validator nodes, dividend tokens, those are all skills that are a bit more advanced, but at the same time don't need a lot of active uh, engagement and management from your side. Obviously, affiliate marketing, you see a lot of creators that run YouTube accounts that have their affiliate links, and that's the way you could also make money, by making content and then guiding your audience to different services and making fees off of those services that you have partnerships or deals with. And then you have the high risk section, which is really the thing that grabbed probably the most attention now recently, which is meme coins. In my opinion, for a beginner, meme coins are probably the most difficult thing to get into. I remember when I started, I lost, I think, between 7 and 8K within like 2 weeks, and it was gone. You just give it back to the market. It's like charity, okay? So it is a very, very competitive market, but if you can figure it out, it's it's great. Like the money that can be made in meme coins is insane, but at the same time, it's difficult. Then you have airdrop farming. Airdrop farming is definitely a way in which you can also learn a lot more about different projects. It's basically that you interact with a protocol or with a company that is about to launch their own token. And by being an active member over there and providing them with either liquidity or certain services or volume, you give them basically something, and in return, you're going to receive an airdrop, which is an amount of token that they release once their token is live. Okay. Um, so this is a very interesting kind of sector to get into, but to get the rewards of an airdrop, you're going to have to wait a couple of months. You have to be active, and you have to wait a couple of months until you really just get the possibility to sell your token, because before it doesn't exist most of the time, or you really have a period which is maybe 3 to 6 months in which you have to interact with a protocol all the time, and then you get reward at the end of the day. And you never know how long this bull market is going to last. So it's also not the best thing to do at this point in time, but it's definitely a good way to familiarize yourself with the crypto world and the different protocols and the different opportunities that exist within uh, tokens that also have some interesting price movements. Early project investments as well, super risky. You don't really should get into that if if you don't have any clue of nothing. So this is really more for people who have a lot of capital and that can just throw like 20, 50, 100K at something like that. And then leverage trading requires you obviously to have a very advanced skill set, which you need to just be in the trenches and working and getting the experience under your belt day by day. But if you're good at it, it's something that can make you a lot of money with relatively little amount of capital. But as you can see, there's a lot of ways to make money in crypto, but nothing is just free money. You really need to think, okay, how can I kind of bring my skill set into the market and my risk appetite, and what is there that kind of I can have a competitive advantage or edge over. And to really kind of get those questions answered, I kind of created a small Excel over here, which I'm going to show you, which kind of helps you. Okay. So overall, here's a document with different skills needed in the crypto industry. What I want you to do is basically rate them, type in, for example, let's say, okay, you know how to use cryptocurrency wallets, you understand the whole setup, and then you just mark an X at wherever your experience is. Okay. This gives you an overview of your skills, and then I want you to list your top 5 skills just down here. Once you have that, you really understand what your benefit is in terms of skills, what you can bring to the table. Then you can continue to the questions, which are also quite important, namely your risk tolerance. I want you to understand and think about how much risk you're willing to take. Are you willing to take the risk of losing all of your money? Are you willing to take the risk of losing 50% of your money? What is your risk appetite? And what type of money do you want to make? If you expect to make 200,000 with 1K, you're going to have one hell of a risk appetite, because it's very easy to lose that 1,000 on the way, because you need to make bets that are super risky, but also give you the chance to make a lot of profit off of it. And this is more likely in a high risk investments like in meme coins and so on. So also what you need to understand is your time availability. Okay, like how much time can you really dedicate to this crypto activity? I understand now everything is hot, the market is nice. You just saw BTC pass over 100K, and you're hyped and you think you're missing out, and you are, honestly you are. And I think within the next 2 to 5 years, crypto is going to have a massive boom still, because crypto isn't a meme anymore. Okay, like those times have been, they're gone. Like people laughing at you because you work in crypto, it's gone. Honestly, it's gone. You have institutional investors, you have governmental interest, you have a crazy amount of adoption going on right now. And if you miss out on it and continue to just ignore it, you're going to be really just unfortunate at the end of the day when you missed one of the biggest wealth creation opportunities in your lifetime. So think about how much time you can really dedicate to those activities. Then also, what is your investment capacity? Okay, like, are you starting with 1,000? Are you starting with $50? Are you starting with 100K? You need to think about that. Okay, because this is one of the most important parts that dedicates what industry you should get into. And I know people who went into crypto with 20K and made it. I know people that went into crypto with 100K and that got their 2x or 1.5x. I also know people that literally never properly spent any money and made money through services, and then eventually passed 7 figures. Like, there's a way for everyone, but you need to understand where you are before you just get hyped about meme coins or anything that's just especially hot right now in the market. Then obviously you need to also consider your goals. What are your primary goals in crypto? Is your goal to make 7 figures? Is your goal to make 2x your money and have a nice vacation next year? Or what really is your goal? You need to understand that, evaluate it, and then kind of come back to the formula in the end. Just here, a smart little overview of different strategies with a recommendation. So for me personally, if you're a beginner, if you don't have a lot of time, if you don't really want to take a lot of risk, I just recommend you to like take the path of hodling. So you just buy Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, whatever is hot basically, and you DCA into it over time. But it's boring, and you're not gonna get especially rich off of it unless you catch one of those kind of blue chip tokens that is really taking off the next couple of years. You still outperform all the different traditional markets for sure, and you still are gonna make a bunch of money if you can really not get shaken out, because every single cycle is gonna have its bear markets as well. So you're probably in 1 2 years you're probably down bad on your investment, but you just need to continue buying step by step, and believe basically. That's what it is. But if you really have a low risk appetite because you don't have a lot of money that you want to lose, but you can dedicate a lot of time to it, I definitely recommend you to provide services. Get into meme coin trenches, connect, network, understand how you can add value to people and to projects, and you're going to be rewarded for sure. If you have a little bit more time, I would also kind of just recommend you to go into token airdrops if you have the patience. Specifically, if you have the patience, it should be nice to get involved in the. Give me 1 second to get involved in token airdrops. So those are some other strategies. As you see, NFT flipping and leverage trading, I also recommend them, but only if you have the patience and the understanding that in the beginning you're gonna suck bad, but then with time they can be super valuable. And I think we still are going to see some very like a lot of traction within the whole NFT space, as usual. And now you really need to understand how crypto is kind of this rotation game, and money flows from some type of games into others. Memes have been crazy, right now they're down. They will come back up most probably later in the cycle. NFTs have been shit. Now they're starting to get traction. Altcoins that no one really touches, that are basically dead and have almost no volume or less volume than some good meme coins, they're coming back most probably now when Bitcoin stabilizes and just continues to range. Those are different concepts that I'm going to kind of explain as well on this channel. But you need to understand that there's a time for different games, and I will be here to obviously answer a couple of questions regarding that. But if you really did those kind of questionnaires and this thinking, I want you to understand that's everything you need. You need to have inputs, which are time, your risk appetite, your capital, and also your skills. And then you should be able to kind of understand what type of game is fitting yourself. So also for all the people who are new and who don't really understand anything, I want you to familiarize yourself with a couple of apps and with some information, okay? So first thing I want you to do is basically get the Photon app. The Photon app is an app which is a wallet. Originally, it's just Solana based for the Solana ecosystem. Solana is the one of the hottest chains right now, but now they've also enabled to hold ETH on there. Okay, you can hold ETH. You can even hold base ETH, which is another chain which is built upon Ethereum, and it's also super interesting when you want to get into meme coins. I want you to download it. I want you to watch a couple of YouTube videos about Photon and how you can use it, how you can interact with Jupiter, how you can interact with Radium, how you can interact with Uniswap. That's everything you should do for now, okay? And then actually also, if you don't have an account yet, get a Binance or a Coinbase account. And if you're in Switzerland, get a Swissborg account. This is where you can take your fiat money, put it into those platforms and get crypto for them, okay, in exchange. And it's very important to be able to cash out crypto as well as to cash in crypto, or cash in fiat money, actually. So this is another point. Then the third one, I want you to download the Dex Screener app, I want you to download the CoinGecko app, and I want you to download the CoinMarketCap app. On CoinMarketCap, you see bigger coins. It's very nice to have a look and be up to date with kind of bigger apps, with bigger tokens. And the Dex Screener is really for the trenches. If you're active in meme coins, it's an application that you need. You need to look up different coins, different contract addresses, and you get all the information there. And you get the portals of each community on Telegram. You get the website links. You get the Twitter profiles. So it's a great app. You need it, most definitely. And on CoinGecko, I recommend the portfolio feature, which allows you to create your own portfolio and from the start track your stuff. So I see some of you guys are probably now kind of thrown off and understand, oh shit, there's just a couple of different games that I can play. But just understand that this industry is literally free money if you put the work in, okay? Like there is no single opportunity in the world where you can take $100 and make 10K off of it. There's no single place where you can do that overnight. And it's not that you can do it overnight by not having put the work in, but the process can be fast, okay? And the amount of competitive edge I already have just because I started very, very early this year, or actually already last year, is beyond imagination. So if you can start now, if you can get ready with whatever and find your game and start playing it, you're gonna be so, so, so thankful by the end of the cycle. Obviously, you need to make sure not to round trip. Statistically, once again, most people round trip their first cycle. However, if you're focused on a good selling strategy, you can get there. So I actually don't even know where I'm going to publish this video, probably in my Skool community as well as on YouTube, just for the fun of it. But if you're not in my Skool community yet, check out the link in the description. Think about what you need, because usually the community part and the possibility to ask a trusted person your questions and get advice from them is something most people don't have access to. So I hope you kind of understood the dynamics and the different games in this industry, and you're going to be able to go through those documents, make your thinking, and decide upon a good path for yourself. And then I'll hopefully see you very soon. Take care.